Jacksonville, Alabama, a hidden gem a few miles from the border of Georgia and home to the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State, where these fans are fired up for this showdown about to play out on Burgess Snow Field. Today, a friendly or perhaps not so friendly battle in the Yellowhammer State that will resonate from the Tennessee River Valley to the Wiregrass. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Auburn Tigers, taking on a team from Conference USA, the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. Auburn will kick off to get us underway. And he's going to bring this one out. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. To the ground with the back. He breaks a tackle. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
He wants to change this route. They'll run play action. Throws to the wideout. Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
It's a defense that prides themselves on taking the football away. They believe they could impact this game with turnovers, and they get an interception on the opening drive. Wasn't a big return, but that doesn't matter. They stole a possession, and that is huge for their confidence.
And they'll get him down inside the 5, but this offense powering toward a score. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Caught in the backfield, it's Coleman. Touchdown, Tigers. A great catch and run for 6. Well, just as you would expect, that didn't take very long.
It didn't, Reese, and you've got to make great field position count. When you've got opportunities, you got to pay it off. And the offense took advantage, scoring a touchdown. Didn't have far to go, but they got the points they needed.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Guys, we'll see what Jacksonville State can get going on 0. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. He fires to the left side. And that one falls incomplete. They tried to go over the top on first down. Second down coming up.
This quarterback feels like he's spiraling a little bit right now. Of course, he threw the pick on the last drive. That last throw should have been picked off. Thanks to the defender dropping it, the offense is still on the field. And if you're this quarterback, you've got to settle yourself down. You better do it quickly.
Third down conversion's always a huge stat, and they've got a 3rd and long from the 27. Wants to throw. It's Wimsatt. It's complete to the right. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37. The Gamecocks racing to the line in the hurry-up.
That was a 3rd down this offense absolutely had to have. They're already down in this game, and so on 3rd down, you've got to find a way to win. And it's a nice job in the one-on-one, running a good route, creating some separation, quarterback throwing on time, and this offense stays on the field.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. He's brought down. A short return, but the defense comes out on top with a pick.
And that's his 2nd big play for this defense. Man, he does such a great job locking into the quarterback, breaking on the football. 2 interceptions already in the first quarter.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. Grab near the marker. It's Howard. The chunk plays that they love, and he takes it all the way down to the 10.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
He's going to lose a yard on that one.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Second down, he'll throw it. Wide out trying to get it in. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1.
Nice job by the defense forcing the 3rd and goal. You can't allow any run after catch in these situations. Play aggressive, play tight, and play physical.
Touchdown, Tigers. Fitted in the window for the score.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Jacksonville State has it back, and the Gamecocks will go to work. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Looking to pass. It's Wimsatt. They'll run the screen. Open space at the 25. He'll get a fresh set down, stopped at the 31-yard line.
Well, they pick up the first down there on the screen. I love the offensive line there, allowing the pass rush to get way up the field. They completely baited their guys, made them think that they got beaten, that they were going to get the sack, and then they sneak the running back screen right in behind them and pick up the first.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something to get a spark going to create a big play.
And how good is it for a quarterback to have a running back he not only can just dump it off to, but can actually be dangerous as a receiver?
Agreed, Reese. It's not just check downs or screens or swing routes or flat routes. This guy can get vertical. And he can all of a sudden start stressing defenses in the second level. What a weapon it is to have this guy in your backfield.
And the Gamecocks decide to punt it away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. Fair catch called for and taken at the 30-yard line. Opening snap of this drive comes from the 31-yard line. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. Turns it on in midfield. Breaks into the open. He was on his way. He could smell it. He gets it inside the 10. They stop him at the 9.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
A first down run in the red zone. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Tigers. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead.
This offense is looking ridiculous. 3 touchdowns now in the first quarter, doing whatever they want at will. I don't know if you're panicking, Palmer, but, I mean, they got to put something together on the other side of the field or else this one's going to get ugly fast.
One thing I know, David, is the defensive staff, after having the ball just run down their throat and thrown over their heads, they need to make some adjustments earlier than they probably anticipated, because right now they have no answers for this offense.
And he's not going to take a knee. Here he comes. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. This drive will open from the 15. Using his legs, it's Cook. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Back to throw. It's Wimsatt. Gets it out fast. And his molars are probably rattling after that big hit, but he did get the first down.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at it, they're right back on the football, ready to run another play.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Off play action. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
A 10-yard loss on the play. Brings up third down.
That's the end of the quarter, and Auburn has the lead. And they jumped out to that edge early. As we wrap up the first, let's take a quick look at our game stats. Big turning point as we head into the second and get this game rolling again. This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on third down. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And this is going to be incomplete on third down.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win first and second down. You set up third and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody in the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force fourth downs.
And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. Oh, he's got some space. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
And that's why if you're the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Yeah, they're just going to need more push up front. There was nowhere for that running back to go. The offensive line got moved right back into his lap, and as a result, they lose yards on that play.
Fires to the big fella. At the 20, he's got space. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down.
And this has got to be so demoralizing for this defense right now. Having given up multiple first downs on this drive, somebody on defense has to step up, make a play, and stop the bleeding.
Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick its way to the end zone. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels.
And this offense trying to be physical inside the 5-yard line. I get it, but I tell you what, Palmer, this quarterback has earned some trust from me with the day he's had.
Yeah, right now he's thinking, put the game in my hands. I'm playing well, and I'm seeing the defense.
And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn!
Love the quick decision-making by the quarterback. It's not just who's the open guy and who am I throwing it to. It's also having that clock, David, in your head that says, if no one's open and I'm down near the red zone, I'm taking off now, and I'm using my athleticism, and I'm getting a score.
Yeah, you love the decision-making. I hate the defense. Why are we dropping back so far in the end zone? We got to keep eyes on this QB. We know he can take off. We know he can make plays. The field shrinks, man. You got to expect that's coming. Not very good defense.
And he's not going to take the touchback. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Guys, we'll see what Jacksonville State can get going on O. They didn't get much done the last time they had it, had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Turning it on! We've seen this from this sophomore, so dangerous after he makes the grab. The Gamecocks want to pick up the tempo.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Back to pass, it's Wimsatt. Unloads to the wideout. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Got to give the defense a lot of credit, man, because they've come into this hostile environment and they've quieted the crowd down with some of the plays they're making. They've got a nice lead right here, and they're making it hard for this quarterback to go to work.
Trying play action. And he throws his third pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football, and he's starting to develop that. His third interception on the season just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2. The Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. From the gun, the ground game. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. From the 30-yard line on first down. Motion from the wideout. A designed run for the quarterback. There he goes. They'll finally get him stopped at the 1-yard line. What a run there.
Well, I don't know what the quarterback saw on that last play, but he made a pretty quick decision that he was just going to tuck it and run it, and his offensive coordinator is glad he did.
Touchdown, Auburn. The offense cashing it in on that drive. How about this Tiger quarterback etching his name alongside the greats and maybe wearing out Aubie with extra push-ups after all these points?
And you just think about those guys having those kind of days as Nick Marshall, Cam Newton, just superstars at the position. That's what kind of day he's having so far.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Gentry. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Back to throw, it's Wimsatt. That's reeled in, it's Cook.
Well, look, this quarterback has struggled a little bit in this game with interceptions. Maybe he was being too greedy early on. That time made a real good decision. Now, I'll tell you what, that's a nice catch by the running back because that ball's in the air a long time. You're throwing it all the way out to the flat like that. He looked like a receiver making that catch and getting extra yards.
With the catch, it's Johnson. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down mark. And the Gamecocks in the hurry-up. On 3rd and short, the power run here. Gets it out to the 27-yard line, and they'll move the chains for a first down.
Yeah, a nice job dialing up that short yardage situation play call there, David. They needed 1 yard, and they picked up 2.
Yeah, great job up front. Great job by the back knowing where they need to go. Nice having a hole you can get through and not have to just do it all on your own as a running back.
Well, this defense is not going to be patient with this quarterback. They know that they have to affect him, and they have to dictate to him. So that time, they send the blitz. They're not even giving him an opportunity to sit back there and peruse the field. They flush him out. They're able to rally to him, get him down to the ground. I like the aggressive nature of the defense here.
And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football.
And it is another interception. Just a terrible struggle for this quarterback. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Moves around to clear up the vision. The offense quickly calls timeout to stop the clock.
That is exactly what this defense needed. They have not had a great first half, given up a bunch of touchdowns. touchdowns, but this might get them started. This might get the energy going and maybe rattle the quarterback a little bit with that sack.
He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Tigers.
And with that score, this thing is getting ugly. This offense has had their way, and not only have they had their way, now they finished the half like you're supposed to, scoring the football, building on their lead. This defense is going to have to go into half and find some answers.